Hey folks, this is another video in the series that explains how to get data from a Google form into the software known as Flourish in order to make a beautiful display of stacked box plots. Okay, so in the last video I explained how to write the code that actually lets you move the data from this form that we get it in Google Forms into this form that is required for Flourish. I also explained in the last video why we need this form instead of this form. And it is because when I went to look at the box plots in the Flourish example for World Cup, what I noticed was instead of having multiple columns with the data, what they did is they put all the X values in one column. And then what they did is they used a sort of Y value column to keep the names of all the countries associated. Again, you'll see that there's Argentina, 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 and then there's different numbers. Well, what this indicates is that all these players are from Argentina. And the way we did it with Google Forms, we would have had Argentina here and then all the ages here. So we're going to rearrange our Google Form data so it looks more like theirs, where we have Argentina, 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 and the different ages. Except, of course, we have different colors of M&Ms. All right, so now that we've run our code, and by the way, when we wrote the program, we had this menu, and it ran the code, and it converted all this data from here, all of this data, it converted it into all of this. Yay! Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do File, Download, comma-separated values. Comma-separated values is a very commonly used way to save data and to export data and to import data into various software programs. So anyways, we're going to do that. And when we do it, I'm going to call this data for Flourish Flourish for Flourish Boxplots. Here we go. M&M data for Flourish Boxplots. And I'm going to call this 2 because I actually did do this before. So the data has now been exported into a CSV file, and now I'm going to go into Flourish and try to import that. So I'm now logged into Flourish, and one of the options is New Visualization. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then I'm going to go to the one on Boxplots. I don't think I have to go to that one. I probably could have used this blank one. I definitely would like a blank one, but I'm just going to go to the thing that I like about Flourish is they have all these templates, and so you could experiment around and who knows, maybe you might be able to use this for another class. I mean, look at this. You could use it for geography and all kinds of things. Okay, who knows what you might use it for. Let's go to Boxplot. So we're creating a new visualization, and you'll see they already have data loaded for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this well, I'll call it M&M data from Google Forms, and I'll call it 2 because I've been doing this a number of times. Now I'm going to click on the Data tab, and then I'm going to choose Upload Data. And a window popped up to give me a choice of where to look for the file. And I have the file stored under a folder. And here is the file that I just saved. And now I'll click Open. And it says to me, this will replace the current sheet and import undefined row and undefined column. Is that okay? And the answer is yeah, we're gonna say yes, let's do it. 282 rows were uploaded. That sounds good. We can always double check. Was it supposed to be 282 rows? 282. Yay, worked great. Okay, so let's take a look. Now, it doesn't know what these columns are, so I'm going to go and click on the A and see if I can make that into a header. Let me see if I can figure that out. Okay, I cannot remember whether I have to have a header here or not, but I'm going to go ahead and click on row 1 on the left, and then I'm going to click my right mouse button. For you with your laptops, you'll use 2 fingers and you'll just tap, and that brings up that menu. And then insert row above, and then in the first column I'll type color. That's the header, that's the name of the column, the header. And in the second column I will type count. That is the number of M&Ms for that particular color. Now I'm not positive that I had to do that, but I vaguely recall that I had to do that. Over here let's make sure that these are correct, these letters. So I'm going to get rid of the letters that came with this default template because I'm not sure that they're right. For the X values, I want them to be the count column, and that's B. And for the Y values, which are not really technically Y values, they're just the names of the colors and the groups, I'm going to put column A. And then I think I'm supposed to do one of these other ones, but I can't remember for sure. I'm going to leave it at that and let's see how it goes. So supposedly I should now be able to go to preview and see the data. And it looks like it's working pretty well. Here's down here is red. You might not be able to see this on your phone or your computer, but this is red. These are the red M&Ms, these are the green, these are the blue, these are the yellow, these are the orange, these are the brown. And again, I can see that because it's listed over here. Down here is the count. And again, it's kind of, it's not really dark, so you might not be able to read it too well. One of the things you might notice is that the colors are not right. They're all purple, and we got red M&Ms and green, so we're going to fix that up. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that. So in order to get the colors all correct, I had to figure out a little trick. Over here right now I do not see a list of dot colors, but when I go back to data, there is an option under X and Y that says color, and I'm going to go ahead and put column A for color. Now what I was hoping that would do is I was hoping that that would take the word red and make the dots red in color, and then the same with the green and the blue, etc. Unfortunately it didn't work out that way. When I go to my preview, we can see that the red M&Ms are purple and the blue M&Ms are red and the yellow M&Ms are orange, so it's all mixed up. But I figured out a way to fix that. Now that I have chosen a column to store the color, a column to find the color information, at least it gives me it now gives me a new option called dot colors. And here it has different palettes that I can choose from. And so I can click here and just choose any of these. I'm going to leave it with the default column, but I'm going to click on Edit Color Palette. There we go. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, what I've noticed is that if you look at these colors, what they're doing is this purple one is down here, and then this next one, this next kind of lighter color purple is here, and then the red one's here, and then orange, and then yellow, and then greenish. It looks to me like these first colors are in the exact opposite order of the colors here on the box plots. So I'm assuming that if I want red to be red, I'm going to have to take this red square and I'm going to have to move it all the way to the top. So there it is. And all of a sudden my red M&Ms are represented by a red box plot. And then let's keep going like that. Let's go ahead and make the next one green. So, oh, dang it, I just moved myself in the way. Let's go ahead and move green up here. And immediately I can see the results. Let's move blue. Let's make this guy the blue one. And then the next one is yellow. There we go. And the next one is orange. I got lucky that those colors happen to be there. And then brown, I'm going to use this as brown, although I don't know that that's a perfect brown. But now you can see that the colors are representative. Okay. Now, to me, that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool set of stacked box plots. Now we can easily compare the different groups of data. And we can see that in this case, it looks like orange was the dominant color. By far, it looks like there was more people got more oranges than any other color. All right. The other thing that's kind of nice is that this lets you show the outliers. We can see the whiskers in the box plot go to a certain amount, and then there's outliers beyond that. In the case of brown, we had some outliers that were where people got less than the rest of the class, and we had some outliers where some people got more than the rest of the class. Also, if we mouse over the box plot, we can see stuff like the median and the first quartile and the third quartile. So it's pretty cool. One other thing I want to show you. We're going to go back to settings, and then we're going to fold up the dot colors. And we're going to come down here to where they say box, violin, and bee swarm plots. Now, I have no idea what these things are, but doesn't it sound kind of cool? I wonder what they mean by violin and bee swarm. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and unfold the box and the violins and the bee swarms. And one of the things that I'd like to do, oh, by the way, in this location, we can determine whether or not we want to exclude the outliers from the box plot. Watch what happens when I say all dots. When I say all dots, now the box plot whiskers go all the way to the min and the max of the data, but we do want the exclude outliers. And we can even see that they let us choose what our recipe is for determining whether we have an outlier or not. You can put in here the multiplier for the number of IQRs away from the quartiles that you need to be in order to be an outlier. So this is kind of neat. We can customize quite a bit. Okay, let's see here. I am thinking, I think it says show bee swarm when plotting one variable. I'm going to change that from no to auto. Let us pray. I think this is what I want. Yes, cool. Okay, so one of the things I love about turning the bee swarm on is that now not only can I see the data and see the box plots, but I can actually see how much data is in each part of the box plot. So I can see that there's a lot of data here and a lot of data here, and over here this data is all spread out. Now, again, one of the things that we talked about in the past is that the width of a particular part of a box plot does not indicate how much data is there. It indicates the range of values of the data. So what we can see here is this, is that from here, the first quartile is 8, the median's 10. So from here to here, there is a distance of 2. That is the range of values from 8 to 10. That has nothing to do with how many data values were in that range. And so over here, so this is 25% of the data for the greens. And over here, from here to here, this goes from, let's see here, the min goes from 2 up to the lower quartile, which is 8, so that's 6. So it goes from 2 to 8, but there's, again, 1/4 of all the data has values between 2 and 8 for the green M&Ms. 1/4 of all the data has values between 8 and 10. That's how the box plots work. And to me, with the bee swarm, it makes a little bit clear that that's how the box plots work. That there actually is a lot of data. 1/4 of all your data is in each of these quarters of the box plots. Anyways, this is a great way to really experience that so that you have a better understanding and you'll retain this for the future. You'll look intelligent when you're taking your next stats class, or better yet, when you're presenting to your boss or to clients. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that. I think that's it for now.